Hello everyone, this is XBIGALSKIx, and this is part 2 called Descending of my impossible difficulty commentary walkthrough for the video game Suffering. Now, I try to change up the beginnings, but to be honest with you, I really don't know what I'm going to say. I don't watch through the videos and plan out exactly what's going on and what I'm going to say and what I'm going to point out. So sometimes I get a little distracted on what I'm trying to think about and, what's coming up. So again, my bad. You would think after all the years of me doing this, I would know exactly better what's going on. Now those bottles or tanks, oxygen tanks or whatever they are, you can shoot those and blow up, anything that's around you. So, use those to your advantage when you can. Also, sometimes it'll blow open walls. So, again, take advantage of your surroundings, but don't get too close because it'll blow it up. So, here's one of the cutscenes that talks about the creatures and how it all starts. So, I will see you guys in a few minutes.
Final solution. I am one of the few who will admit that. First it giveth, and it taketh away.
I've been here a long time. I don't understand much about this place, but I know your being here ain't no coincidence.
Well, look what we have here. How long I have been waiting to encounter such a fascinating specimen. My understanding is you've had periodic blackouts since, when was it? Ah yes, early adolescence. Ever wonder what happened during those blackouts? Would you say you have visions of bloodshed? Yes, surely there is bloodshed.
You've seen death, right? I read about your life, you sick bastard. Put me to shame. I never got to snuff a woman. But did you really do it? Because we get innocent here. Sure, I'm presumed guilty. It doesn't affect me doing my job, though. Above all else, I am a professional. I am
Wife, right? Did you love her? How far would you go to make sure she stayed yours? When you get mad, you feel you could kill a man, rip him apart with your bare hands. You ever feel that way?
So now I'm just waiting for the enemies to come out. Talk about your
Don't let this place
creature meter, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Be careful when you use your knives, though, against the tanks. Sometimes they will blow up. I think I was just breaking the boxes just to do something to kill a little time. But yeah, be careful, on those, using your shiv, I guess.
Show me why you're in here. I want to know all about it.
So in order to get your insanity meter up, you have to kill the enemies.
Put it off forever.
It'll go up doing damage, but it'll go up a little bit faster if you kill them. But again, you see how I missed and how he was able to just kind of stab me. You got to be careful. That's the reason I really don't like using the shiv that much if I don't have to. But also, I like to, when I know my health's low enough, to go ahead and use some zombieing. That way I pick up everything, because, sometimes you'll get ready to leave or run past something and then all of a sudden leave and you've left a few bottles in that you may not have thought about or remembered to go back and get. So I always try to use it as I see it for the most part. Maybe if I know if I'm going to come back, I can pick it up. But now that it's flashing and some enemies are out, press your Y button. Now, from what I understand, using this form goes to a neutral or even negative ending. So again, and also be careful of the tanks, because if you hit those and blow up, it'll hurt you. But as you can see, I'm taking damage, but you can't heal. So really watch your health meter as you're killing these enemies, because you don't want to, you know, die while you're transformed, not paying attention, you know, think you're going to kick ass, because, you know, they can miss a lot. Or, you know, the creature can miss a lot right next to him. They can jump out of the way. He's so slow. There's a few different attacks, but I'll wait for a minute.
Be careful. A good thing only lasts so long. We'll need to discuss this further.
So there are, you know, a few attacks that you can do, but again, with me going for the good ending, I'm not going to use the creature insanity mode very much unless I absolutely have to. On impossible, there's some areas that it definitely makes it a lot easier, but I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible and, you know, just fight as Torque. So it looks like, you know, there's some tanks there and some boards. Sometimes when you see that, sometimes there is something back behind those. But if you sit there and shoot them and it blows up, sometimes it'll blow up the stuff that's behind it. So again, just kind of be careful when using breakable or seeing breakable walls, so you don't blow up everything that's behind it. Because, you know, if it's grenades and something blows up in front of it, it'll blow up it all behind it. So here's one of those areas. I think I just do it to get the guy a little bit closer, so I can show that, you know, how it'll damage him. But again, if you're too close, it'll do a lot of damage to you. Now I do have flares. And here's one of these captain guys. I can't stand this guy. I do have flares, and for some reason, I don't know what it is, I don't really use them that often. And I shot him in the nads. But I don't know why. They don't last forever. They're good for lighting up areas, but, you know, the enemies will still come even if the flares are there. I think I'm just showing that you can shoot these boxes. You know, I might have done that earlier. Again, I don't play the game like consecutive and, you know, go from level to level. I usually play like one level or part of a level and, you know, put the clips together a little bit later on. So I don't always remember what I'm trying to do. Maybe that's not good for a video person. You can actually shoot the rats, but nothing happens. It doesn't go towards, you know, your negative health. But again, when you flip these light switches and you hear explosions, go back and double check just to make sure. I always like flipping the light switches, you know, for two reasons. Just in case something like this happens, but more importantly, if, you know, so there's light. I mean, it's pretty plain and simple. The more light you have, it's easier. You keep your flashlights. Again, you come in these areas, use your zombie while you can. If you're really close and there's flashlight batteries around, I always kind of recommend staying in the area until your flashlight goes down so you can pick up another one. You know, use the batteries to your advantage, because they don't last forever. There's some sections in the game where it takes a little. I actually ran out a couple times, so if you don't mind running around in the dark sometimes, but you definitely want to keep, you know, some flashlight and use that to your advantage. That's the reason I turn on the light, so I can turn off my flashlight.
Where the fuck are you? What's taking so long? Do it. Fucking do it! Just fucking kill me!
So like most of the enemies, you can, you know, aim towards the head, and that'll really, you know, kill them a lot faster. Against some of the enemies, obviously when you shoot their head, it won't kill them. But if you can, you know, aim towards the head, that definitely will, you know, kill these guys a lot faster. They have a few variety of attacks, and you just want to make sure that, I don't think you can jump across there. You don't want to get stuck out in the open if they do their like big volley, because it will kill you. So like I said, just be careful of, you know, use cover of those guys. Again, I need to pull out my book and call everybody's names or whatever. Again, love the sound of that. Now I will say, when I'm doing the recording, just in case I didn't say it before, you know, I can't hear any of the sound. So all of that's silent. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. The effects of the game, the voices of the game, the music of the game, you know, plus minus. So I try to adjust that whenever I do the videos, you know, adjust. But I usually turn up high volume and keep that. Look at that, look how much damage that did, just because I didn't get out of the way at the right time. But again, it's one of those things, if you know you have a few bottles around, go ahead and use that to pick them up, and, you know, don't say, well, I need to save them for later if you know there's two in another room. Again, I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe I thought something might have been in there. But having said that, most of the time in the game, there's two ways to go and do something, you know, in the level. And, you know, it's really up to you after you play the game if you want to, you know, do that, explore that option, or just kind of run through it. And I'll show you an example coming up here. So if I went this way into that door right now, this right here is kind of the way to get towards the end of the level. But I'm going to go the other way to show that there's more to it than, you know, going the way that the game wants you to go. Plus, and the extra ways around, again, you might find maps to other areas. You might find, you know, another weapon. You might find supplies that you may need that may not be, you know, on the other side, or the other way that you decided to go. You know, there might be more zombium or any of that. So again, enjoy going through that. Like, there's a bottle right there that I might not have been able to pick up. Again, don't stand too close. I'll blow myself up. Yeah, see, that's one of those things. But when you see the tanks around there, it's like, okay, there's a door to the tank. Let me see if that's going to work.
Daddy, I can't see. Where are you? Turn on the lights. No, I don't want to see it. No! Daddy, no!
Plus, you'll miss out on some creepy cutscenes too, so... Like, for example, if I shot those tanks, it would blow up all my flashbangs. So again, I could have skipped all this part and gone straight to the end, but, you know, what's the fun in that? But as you can see, now you know, that red door led me back into the original room. So, you know, if I'd tried to open it from this side, it would have been locked. Now again, this is bad right here. I think I take a lot of damage. Watch how fast some of this, you know, some few bad shots, not dodging, not doing critical hits when I need to, not listening to everybody. Again, be careful if that guy shoots those tanks, you know, and it blows up next to you, you're in trouble. So again, just kind of be careful. See how I kind of hide behind the wall? That's my advantage. look at that. This section right here, this past section, or this whole section right here, was really, I didn't play it very well at all. But I figured I got the supplies, so thought about maybe restarting the checkpoint, because again, I'm going to get cornered here coming up. So don't let yourself get cornered. So I got him coming, then I got another guy coming. And I don't know why I changed over to my shiv. I think it's because I want to save some ammo. But again, you know, look where I get myself. And that's just no good. See, look at that. That's what I was talking about. I should have got, I don't know why I didn't get hit there. Maybe I was just a little bit out of the reach. Again, I should have just stuck with my guns, knowing I'd probably pick up some ammo. So again, that wasn't very smart. And on Impossible, like I said, just a few bad moves can get you killed.
You can't execute your own men.
So be on the lookout of secret areas. So I wanted to show you that wheel right there opened up the door, but there was also another way into this room. So the game gives you, like I had said a little bit earlier, 2 or 3 different pathways to go through the level, and 2 or 3 different ways sometimes to get to secret rooms. So that's the fun part about exploring the game, taking your time going through it. You can find these different ways.
This prison is my command. I am God here. You will follow my orders.
So one thing I haven't done yet is read some of these notes that I pick up. There was an urgent note, now that official document. I guess because I played through the game so much, I know what it says. So, maybe going forward, whenever I pick these up, I hope I remember. But maybe going forward, I'll read some of those so you can see what they say. That urgent note, I think, was Killjoy or whatever his name is, telling me that I need to meet him, that I'm having problems, and also don't be afraid to use your flashbang grenades. I should have used those, because this first few levels are, you have a lot of them, so you might as well use all of that to your advantage while you have them.
This place can eat your soul.
Now here's one of these instances. There's a TNT, and again, I don't know if there's anything in there or not. I mean, I'm still learning about the game, but I don't think there is. And when you blow that up, usually it'll blow up a wall or something, for your objective that you need to go to. So I always shoot those no matter what. But again, like I'd said earlier, don't run out until you kind of explore the areas around the exit, just in case there are supplies for you to pick up. I know I'd put in a little note that you could, go back. Like once I go out this door, I believe I can come back if I needed to, but sometimes you can't. So it's always better to do it before you leave. So anyway, that's it for this section. Again, a couple different ways you can go through the level, exploring all your options, or you can just kind of speed run through it and not take that other way around. But I'll say it before and I'll say it again, if you're just kind of speed throughing it on your first or second playthrough, you're really missing out on a lot of the game. I'm sure I'll say that again. But anyway, hope everybody enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.